And now for the view from the other side, tenant activist Daniel Barber is president of the Jackson Houses Resident Association. You know, Danny, you and I have known each other a really long time. And I guess the question I have for you is, what do you think is the most pressing problem that NYCHA needs to deal with that would make tenants like yourself a lot happier?
If Congress gave the money to fix public housing.
Is it a problem for Congress, you think?
No, I don't think it is a problem for them to provide the money. I mean, we've showed it. The pictures, the rats, the stories. Congressman Richie Torres experienced it firsthand.
He grew up in public housing.
Grew up in public housing. Senator Chuck Schumer has been an ally for years. He comes, he knows the issues. We just need to get the whole congressional delegation, and we invite them to come see public housing.
So what has been the problem? Why doesn't every member of the congressional delegation understand how difficult it is for many people to live in public housing projects?
Honestly, Marsha, that's the hardest thing to answer, because I would guess, and I guess you would say that I'm assuming that a lot of them maybe don't have public housing. Some of them don't know the real true meaning, what public housing brings to residents and to the people who reside there.
Can you tell our viewers what it means so that they can understand what you're talking about?
NYCHA is a city within a city. NYCHA would be the 26th largest city in the country. And to be able to say that to live in public housing, people used to go crazy 15, 20 years ago that you lived in public housing. We didn't have the large gates. We had the little poles with the chain link fences. Everyone knew the grass was off limits. The grass was greener than the lawn at Central Park.
What changed?
A lot changed.
Talk to me about it.
The enforcement of the rules. When you used to get into public housing, it was like you were being interviewed by the federal government for a job. It was very grueling process that our parents went through. And it's like...
Are you saying the standards have fallen?
The standards is dropping drastically.
And what does that meant? Has it meant that there's more crime in public housing? Has it meant that there's more gang members living in public housing? What has it meant, this fall off of the standards that you're talking about?
All of the above. Because where NYCHA used to be responsible for the municipal service it gave its residents, when Giuliani was the mayor, he took that away from them.
Why did he do that?
He said to save money, but we were still going through paying for the police cars and payment in lieu of taxes, where they were paying for the registration, the insurance of the police cars, and the fixing of the police stations.
Is it that Giuliani didn't care about people who lived in public housing, or he just had a different priority that he wanted to focus on police?
I think his priorities did not have the residents of public housing at hand. So
is that where if I were to say to you, when did public housing start to change, you would put it at the Giuliani years? I would look at it, and that's my opinion, yes, strongly, the Giuliani era. But after Mayor Giuliani, there were a lot of other mayors. I mean, there was Bloomberg, there was Bill de Blasio. Did they not care about public housing as well? I mean, every mayor that comes in, every administration, everybody gives you their site. Everyone runs this campaign on public housing. Everyone knows the issues of public housing. But they don't do anything about it. They do absolutely nothing. In their campaign, they tell you the solution that they will bring if elected. Once elected, they turn the blind eye to the resident of public housing. All right, so look, Eric Adams, last year, actually a year ago, more than a year ago, because he took office a year ago, January, campaigned, and I mean, I was there with him. He sought the votes of people in public housing. he says that your problems are my problems. Has he been able to follow up the promises with actual action?
No, ma'am. I haven't seen it.
What do you want? What do you want him to do?
I want him to put a line item budget in the budget for public housing.
How much?
Give him at least, say, $4 billion a year.
$4 billion?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, we can take care of the asylum people.
What would $4 billion do for public housing?
$4 billion a year, say, for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
That's $40 billion. That's enough money to pick NYCHA and bring it up to code and stop some of the hazardous conditions that people are living in. Asbestos, mold, lead, just to name a few.
Leaky roofs.
Leaky roofs, rats. As I've seen,
rats are the worst.
As we forever see.
So, have you gone to the mayor or somebody in the Adams administration or in the city council and said, put the money in the budget for us, we vote?
Marsha, my name is Danny Barber. Danny Barber makes a lot of waves when he opens his mouth.
Okay.
Danny Barber doesn't bite his tongue when he speaks.
Okay.
And he outright says it. I did an article in the newspaper about the asylum seekers, and it wasn't received very well by the mayor.
What did you say about the asylum seekers?
Like I said, was that the residents of public housing, why we can't get assistance to pay for OSHA 30? Why is there a project labor agreement in place that prevents NYCHA workers from getting jobs? But you promised asylum seekers jobs. So I guess that rubbed them the wrong way.
But still, even in his State of the City speech this week, the mayor did talk about finding more money for NYCHA and more programs to help NYCHA residents.
The mayor said he would give the community centers back. We need them. Some of the sponsors now don't even provide safe haven space for our young people when these shootings and all of this violence is going on.
You know, here's the thing. When you talk about the crime numbers in New York City, sadly, a lot of it has to do with shootings that happen in public housing complexes. Do you feel that the NYPD or the housing part of the NYPD is making enough effort to help you?
It can always get better. We need more vertical patrols. That stopped drastically. That happens when something happens.
Well, they stopped a lot of the vertical patrols because there was an incident where a police officer was shooting blindly in one of the stairwells.
But then it comes with better training. It used to be more sensitivity training for public housing resident police department, PSA officers, public service areas. They used to have more extensive training.
So you're saying better training, more vertical patrols, and we have 30 seconds. What else do you want?
And if you're going to use this neighborhood policing project, then you can't put a neighborhood officer in the community and give them 50 other locations. Leave them there. Let them get to know the people. Let them work with the people so that they can work on the problems together and come up with good solutions that'll work.
Sounds good to me. Well, we're going to have to leave it there for now, but our conversation continues right after the show on our streaming channel, CBS News New York.